So in this video, we're going to look at lesson 3.7. We're going to focus on just, transformations of polynomial functions. So we're not going to worry about symmetry, so we're just going to look at transformations. So let's actually skip to the end. So this is going to be short and quick. And so the first question here is saying, what is a parent function? And then how is the graph transformed? And so we're not even going to sketch it. So I just want to figure out what's the parent function and how is the parent function transformed. So the parent function is based on the degree of the polynomial. So if we look at this first one, we see the degree is the fourth power. So that means that we can just say the parent function is based on y equals x to the fourth. And so now we want to figure out, well, how has it been transformed? Okay, because if the parent function is y equals x to the fourth, the 3 and the minus 18 are going to do different things to change that. Now the minus 18, that's pretty obvious that means that it's going to go down 18 units because that's outside the parent function. And that 3 is being multiplied times x to the fourth. And so that 3 is happening after we take x to the fourth power. So, and since it's multiplication, it's going to be a stretch, it's going to be multiplied by there. So it's a vertical stretch by 3. So let's review. If it had been 1/3 x to the fourth minus 18, then it would have been a vertical compression by 1/3. Okay, now we didn't talk about horizontal stretches and horizontal compressions. We'll save that for pre-calculus. But for the purpose of this class, anytime you have a number multiplied times x, it's going to impact the graph vertically, and it's either going to be a stretch or a compression. So it's going to be vertical stretch. If it's bigger than 1, it's going to be a vertical compression if it's between 0 and 1. Remember, if there's a negative outside of there, that's going to flip it vertically. Okay, so even if that had been negative, put the 1/3 back in there. If it had been negative 1/3, that's actually 2 operations. So the negative would cause it to flip vertically. The 1/3 would cause a compression, vertical compression by 1/3 the size. All right, so that's, in a nutshell, that's a review of transformations. So let's look at the next one together. So again, it's based on the degree. So this one is a cubic. So the parent function for this one, say y equals x cubed. So we strip away all the numbers and just focus on what the degree is. So the degree here is 3. So just be y equals x cubed to be the parent. Now everything else is going to transform that cubic function. And if you remember, though we don't have to sketch it, graph for this cubic function would look something like that. Okay, so it's important to remember what those parent functions do look like. So what's going to be the impact? Well, the plus 4 means it's going to move up 4 units. And the minus 3, that's inside of the parentheses, so that's happening directly to the x. It's happening inside the parent function because that cube is outside the parentheses there. So remember, that means we do the opposite. So the minus 3, even though your brain wants to think that it's going to the left 3, remember that means that it actually goes to the right 3 units. So it's going to go to the right 3, up 4, and the 5 is going to be a vertical stretch because that 5 is bigger than 1. So those would be the 3 things that are changing or transforming about that graph. All right, so I want you guys to look at this last one, and I want you to try the same, or this one, on your own. So let's see how you did. First off, we see that there's a cubic there, so that means that this is based on y equals x cubed. So again, to find the parent function, you look at the degree, and then strip everything away, so we just have y equals x cubed. And then all those numbers, what that impacts the graphs or transforms the graph. The plus 3, that's happening inside the parent function. It's inside the parentheses that are being cubed. So we do the opposite. So the fact that it says plus 3, remember, means it moves to the left 3 units. Then that 1/2 means it's being compressed vertically by 1/2 the size, or vertical compression by 1/2. So that's it. So that's all we're dealing with here with transforming functions. Good luck now as you work on your assignment.